Hello, welcome to Digital Marketing Nuts and Bolts mini training. I'm Chris Lamb and I am the owner of Cup of Joe Social. Thank you for signing up for this training. What I want you to take away is the fundamentals regarding your website, email, and social media. These three arms of digital marketing tend to be where your organic growth comes from. So let's get started. Now, this mini training is for you. You are a small business owner or an entrepreneur. You're investing the time to understand how digital marketing works for your business and learning best practices so that you can implement them yourself or pass on to your team. Now, a little bit about me. I am also a small business owner. My passion and through line throughout my entire career has been service, helping people help people. So if you're interested in making a positive impact in your communities, then I am here to help you level up that positive impact. Now, as we go into this session, I want you to say these three sentences. I know it's hokey, but I want you to say them. I am empowered and I work with a mindset of abundance. I am equipped to speak my brand and my story online, and I will discover and implement the right marketing strategies that work for my business. And our agenda today is as follows. We're going to cover the digital marketing ecosystem, your goals, a little bit about your website, what content pillars are, email marketing, social media, and a list of resources. So here's my version of the digital marketing ecosystem or framework. Did any of you watch Bridgerton on Netflix? You will be quite familiar with this family if you did. The show is based on a series of romance novels. Each sibling gets a book and a happy ending. The thing about this is that everything goes back to Mama Bridgerton. So we are sending people back to the website to book a call, buy a product, enter an email address, make an appointment for a service, use a promo code, and so on. When I created this slide, I forgot that this show is pretty niche, right? It's all about romance. So I updated it. Boom! I know you know who these folks are. Whether you like them or not, we all know who the Kardashians are. And again, all things point back to the website, right? Mama Kris makes it happen. So each sibling is related and they can work together, but they all point back to Mama Kris. So when you see this, Kim can work with Kylie, right? Email and social work together. Chloe and Paige can work with content and local SEM. Kendall's over there on the side. She's affiliate marketing. She could be working with influencers as well. So everything kind of rolls back into Mama Kris. Now, let's talk about goals. These tend to be overarching goals, and I want you to customize these for your business, right? We want to tie in your digital marketing activities to your business goals. We want to get in front of your target audience. We want to increase brand awareness, increase sales. We want to convert your prospects to customers and then customers into advocates. Now, getting started, do your customers and audience know where to find you online? Do they know how to find you online? Well, here's an example for you. What is easier to remember? @tattoo friend, which is that first bullet, or the other two bullets where the zeros might be O's if someone doesn't read it correctly. Underscores are hard to type in if you've got stubby thumbs like myself. You want to make it super easy for your audience to find you. So I want you to go to either of these sites, namecheck.com or knowem.com. They do the same thing. And I want you to check if your desired brand username is available. Then do a land grab, or as my younger colleagues have said, squat your name on all of the platforms that you think you may use now or in the future. What we don't want to do is have to haggle or go through legal channels 5 years from now because someone else took your username on a different platform and you forgot to take it, okay? So do a land grab. Now, we talk a lot about mobile because almost everyone in your target segment has some kind of mobile device, right? Whether it's a smartphone or a tablet. So even before COVID, even before lockdown, the data was showing that mobile search, mobile shopping, mobile communications were all increasing exponentially. And as we think about how to serve our customers with the best online experience, we have to touch on your website. Now, I want you to consider your website as your digital home base, right? You may have a brick and mortar store and you take care of it. So I want you to take care of your digital home. Now, if you were your customer, which house do you think they would prefer to enter? Would they like to enter Sleeping Beauty Castle with its great colors, nice branding, open door, bright decor, lots of lights, at night, they shoot off fireworks? Or do you think your customer would like to go to the It House, where the porch steps are rickety, the walls are collapsing, the door is locked, and a clown might potentially eat you? So which one do you think your customers would prefer, right? If they were to come see you. Now, when we dig a little deeper with your website, I want you to use what you have or what you already have to optimize your site. So how many pages do you have on your website? It really varies depending on the type of business you are. If you're a nail salon, or even if you're a GIS surveying company that handles clients only in the Northwest, right? Or Northeast even, maybe there's only 4 or 5 pages that you really need. Then if you're an e-commerce site that sells t-shirts, you may have a page for every product, right? So it could be over 200 web pages. In any case, I want you to think about using these free tools: Google Search Console, Google PageSpeed Insights, and Google Analytics, so that you're tracking the data and improving on what it's telling you. Now, moving into optimizing your website. Now, basically, we want to create a well-worded website so that Google can crawl your web pages and serve the relevant page to the person who is searching on Google. Okay, I'm going to repeat this one more time. We want to create a well-worded website so that Google can crawl your web pages and serve the relevant page to the person who is searching on Google. Okay, and part of that optimizing can also be using Google My Business, which is a free feature on Google search. You've seen that right side snapshot when you Google a business, right? So it is pulling up data that you can enter. So you need a Google account to do it. You should own this and take advantage of this Google juice, right? Because it's free. Google Analytics is also free, and it tracks all the data coming into your website, like the ones here on the slide: keywords, how people are searching for you, right? The terms that they're using, time on site, how much time someone is spending on your website, right? On a particular page. How are they going from that page to the next page on your website, to the next page on your website, and where are they exiting? Which page are they exiting from? Popular pages, again, what are the popular pages that people are landing on your site and staying on that page for the X amount of time? Demographic information. How old are they? What kind of tech are they using? Are they using an Apple iPhone, or are they using a laptop? Are they using Chrome, or are they using Safari? And then referral sources. How are they coming to you? Are they coming to you through a social media platform like Facebook, or are they coming through someone's blog who linked back to you, right? A backlink. So now we need to move on to the next section, but I want you to take these away, or these are your takeaways. Website loading speed. I want you to check for extra large images or graphic files that are making your website pull-ups too slow. And then I want you to use the data through Google Analytics and find those keywords or phrases that people are typing into Google search and creating content that is meaningful and makes sense for the customer. Now, if you are a local business that serves maybe a particular region, then I want you to prioritize localization in your marketing mix. We want you to focus on reaching customers in the area versus the customers all over the world. Okay. Now, content pillars are theme buckets that you talk about on your social platforms, on email, on your website, newsletter, etc. These are examples of content pillars that may work for your brand and your audience, right? We talk about education, we talk about the industry, your company, who you are, your community, philanthropic endeavors that you have, customer stories, highlighting your neighborhood. So it could be a dotted line neighbor, information about your product or your service, right? Tell me more, answer an FAQ, and edutainment/humor, right? Just memes, quotes, timely wow moments. At the time that I made this slide, I think we had the Summer Olympics were happening. So something, if that's something that makes sense for your brand to post about the Olympics, great, let's do it, right? Now, moving on to email marketing. Email marketing is one of my favorite ways to reach out to customers organically. Everyone has at least one email address that they use, right? Don't ask me how many I have. There are many email service providers or ESPs. I personally use ConvertKit at the moment. The tried and true ones are MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Klaviyo, Constant Contact, MailerLite, Flowdesk, and so on. Any of these ESPs, email service providers, have the option to create sequences or drip campaigns. And as you can see, the average open rate across industries is 21%, which is pretty great. Even with the privacy updates with Apple, I expect it to go down a little bit, maybe 18 to 20%, but that's still a great open rate, especially for people who want to hear from you. And then with welcome emails, they've got an 82% open rate. So people really do want to hear from you when they sign up for your email. Now, if you're worried about what to write in your emails, guess what? Here you go. Here's some ideas on what you can talk about in your email newsletters. Now, all of these ideas, if you take a look at these all provide value to the customer, right? Let me show you how another customer used our service. Here is a product release. The industry is in influx. We had a baby, and that is why we slowed down on the production of, handmade empanadas. Give us feedback. Welcome to the team or welcome to the family, right? Thank you for your purchase. Here's another promo code for you to use to buy, another dozen empanadas. The welcome email, again, has an 82% open rate. So I want you to take advantage of that for your brand, okay? Now, moving on, I'm going to wrap up the section. I want you to think about sending that welcome email. And I also want you to think about adding a regular email to your to-do list, right? Again, it can be monthly. You don't have to send a weekly email like me. You're going to write for mobile first, right? Meaning no essays. You're not going to write a whole book, in one email. No one's going to read it. And then I want you to make the opt-in, right? The email capture form easy to find and easy to enter. So it can be just first name and email address, or I've been seeing a lot of just email address forms. And then third, people really do want to hear from you. This is why they've taken the time to take their two thumbs, right, and punch in their email address. So they do want to hear from you. Please send out an email regularly. Again, it's on your timeline. But for those that don't want to hear from you, I want you to cull the list every year, right? Because you want to keep a clean and a warm list. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, social media marketing. I'll bet these stats aren't that surprising to you. When you take off your boss hat, right? Take your boss hat off and put your regular Joe customer hat on. Do you use social media to help guide your purchase decisions, right? Is that one of those touches that touches you before you decide on purchasing something or taking an action? What about looking at reviews or looking at a brand's website? Do you do that as a customer? It's probably not a surprise that marketers use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn in their marketing mix. Soon, I think we're going to see TikTok in there for sure as well. And Pinterest. We haven't even talked about Pinterest, but Pinterest is kind of like a visual Google. And that's going to be up there pretty soon as well. So let's go and dive into some basics on social media. The first rule of social media marketing fight club is you go where your audience is. So if you are on Twitter, but your audience is not on Twitter, then it's safe to say that you can kind of keep it alive or abandon it, right? And go where your audience is, especially if you are a visual brand, right? You may want to go to TikTok or Instagram or even Facebook for that matter. Now, I also want you to think about just having patience. Social media is a slow build. It needs a long runway, especially if you're considering a mostly organic social media strategy. Many of you are going to be solopreneurs with not a lot of staff at all to help you with digital marketing or social. So I'm telling you, or giving you permission, not that you need my permission, but I'm telling you to pick 1 to 2 platforms to be active on, right? That's rule 2. I do still think that you need to have a Facebook page, because then you can access both the Facebook page and your business Instagram account via the business manager and use Creator Studio if you are publishing natively. So that's the only reason why I would use a Facebook page. Plus, it seems to me that Facebook pages still have a pretty good ROI when it comes to small brands. Now, rule 3 is you must take some time to regularly engage. We are not Kevin Costner from Field of Dreams. If we build it, they're not going to come, okay? I want you to carve out at least 20 minutes a day, researching hashtag conversations, keywords, what's trending, people you follow, and then responding to comments, being helpful in your responses, okay? The Pokemon Go time bullet. So I keep thinking people still play Candy Crush, but someone told me, no, it's Pokemon Go now. So whichever game you decide to play on, take the Pokemon Go time or take that Candy Crush time, and instead of using that time to play, take that time, like your 20 minutes a day, and work on engagement and listening. All right, back to content. So sometimes you get into a funk, right? And you wonder what to publish. I want you to go back to your content pillars. I really want you to use them as a guide to create and publish content that speaks to your audience and your business, okay? I want you to spend about 1 to 2 hours per week to batch your content. We all know that you are wearing all of the C hats, right? CEO, CTO, CMO, COO. So I'm trying to help you maximize the small amount of time that you have to do social and avoid the what should I post today question, right? I don't want you to feel rushed about it. So I want you to batch your content. Okay, it is also okay for you to publish and repurpose existing content. Look at this example here. This is an interior designer that I found on Instagram. She has published 4 images of the same bed and headboard in her Instagram feed, right? Now, the copy might be different for each of the posts, but basically it's the same bedroom, right? And you can do the same thing. There are no hard and fast rules here. Now the next thing I'd like you to do is add a call to action, right? So it doesn't have to be all 100% of your posts, but try for, at least half of them, right? Half of your posts should have some kind of call to action. Ask people to, answer a question, fill in the blank, send them to your website, ask your audience to sign up for your email, or maybe just vote on something. Especially when you have the poll sticker on your Instagram stories. Now what we basically want your audience to do is become active followers, okay? Now, lastly, I want you to use appropriate hashtags. In this example, you would never use something like hashtag Spider-Man, right? This makes totally no sense. You could use hashtag interior design, hashtag home organization, hashtag headboard, hashtag neutrals, but we're not going to use hashtag Spider-Man on this interior design account. It just doesn't make any sense, and you're going to confuse your audience. Now, as we end this section, here's what I would love for you to consider as you develop your social strategy. 1, I want you to be consistent in carving out time to batch create or batch schedule your content. And I want you to use those content pillars as your guide. 2, I want you to spend some time listening to your audience, right? Just really kind of dig around, click, kind of dig around, see what people are talking about, and then engage, right? In an honest way. And then 3rd, I want you to watch your analytics regularly to find your most effective content and do more of it. Sometimes the highest performing content may surprise you. It may not be the, super well lit, professionally photographed image of, your product or your service. It could just be something that you took off of your iPhone. All right, lastly, tracking. All of this work, right, that you're considering doing as a one-person show, it is nothing if you cannot track your activities, right? So you've got Google Analytics installed, and there's a plethora of information offered. Again, going back to the website analytics slide, we can see traffic sources, how they're coming to your website, organic and paid keywords, the search terms. they are typing into the Google search bar and clicking to your site. Which social media platforms are bringing you traffic, so referral sources, right? Traffic sources, how people are navigating through your website. In social analytics, whether you are looking at the data natively on, let's say on the Facebook page or on Twitter's analytics, or you're going through a social media management tool like Later or Planoly or Buffer or Sprout, you can see the types of posts that resonate with your audience and the best times and days to publish, how long someone stays and watches a video, how many people are sharing your content, etc. All of this information helps to narrow down your focus and the work that you do to create a cohesive and strong digital marketing strategy. So let's recap what we've covered, right? We've defined our goals. You're going to make them a little bit more specific for your business. We're going to be strategic about our website, our email marketing, and our social media. And we're going to meet our target audience where they are at. We will build a mobile-friendly Sleeping Beauty castle because no one wants to get eaten or killed by a clown from the It House, right? We will utilize email to stay connected with our warm list of prospects, current customers in our community. And we will test 1 to 2 social platforms and decide on our brand's content pillars. Again, helping you to organize, all of your messaging. Now, here are some of my favorite resources that I like to share with business owners interested in digital marketing. This slide deck will be available for you as a PDF, so don't worry about taking screenshots. You can keep it for your files or share it with your team. Now, I don't have a Q&A session for this because it's pre-recorded, but you can absolutely hit me up on email. I also have a 3-call package if you're interested in working together. We could work on your digital marketing goals and strategies and then figure out how to marry it all together. Thank you again for investing the time to join me in this mini session. I hope you found it compelling and helpful for your brand and business. Look for my weekly marketing email. It's 1 marketing tip plus a roundup of digital marketing trends and news items to keep you engaged and informed and entertained. Until then, thank you again, and I'll see you online.